Now, you heard the Prime Minister talking up how he's fighting this supposed global warming menace. But when it came to confronting the very real menace of the Chinese communist dictatorship, suddenly he couldn't say that he saw any threat at all.
Do you think China is a national security threat to Australia?
I think that our engagement with the region and the world needs to be diplomatic, needs to be mature, and needs to avoid attempts to simplify what are a complex set of relationships. And Australian journalists should do the same.
But does that mean China is a potential military threat to Australia?
We have strategic competition in the region.
Let me show you something truly crazy. It's a brilliant example of what you do get from a defence force when it's headed by a Prime Minister like that. I mean, Albanese has stripped the Australian Defence Force to the bone to pay for nuclear submarines we won't start getting for another decade or more. He just won't top up its budget to pay for more drones and missiles and extra supply ships and jet fighters. So, 3 Chinese warships can circumnavigate Australia firing guns, and we couldn't even put a frigate in the sea to follow them. I mean, unbelievable. Yet, this almost toothless defence force said last week it does have money to fight the climate, to shoot at the clouds or whatever, I don't know. In fact, to build solar projects in the Northern Territory. Here's Albanese's Assistant Minister for Defence, Matt Thistlethwaite, opening the new solar farm at the RAAF base Darwin, with the ADF boasting that Defence is taking practical measures to respond to climate change risks and enhance Defence's energy resilience, if only it had the resilience to shoot down missiles. Celia Perkins, who's actually a very senior Defence official, actually called its Chief Sustainability Officer, of all things. I mean, that's going to scare China. Oh, we can't attack Australia. It's got a Chief Sustainability Officer. She says Defence is thinking and acting differently to achieve the government's emissions reduction targets. Joining me is our Tuesday regular, National Senator Matt Canavan, the former Resources Minister. Matt Canavan, I mean, that is just beyond parody. Our military doesn't have the money for more drones, but it does for solar panels. Under a Prime Minister that today couldn't even bring himself to say that China was a potential military threat. Does this strike you as insane?
Well, it's not just insane, Andrew. It's self-defeating for our own nation. Our Defence Force should be focused on one ultimate aim, and that is, in the name of its own organisation, to defend Australia. Its job is not to change the temperature of the globe. Its job is not to pursue the latest woke left-wing agendas. It is to defend this country. And as you've outlined, there are threats in our region. China has been acting in a threatening way. In fact, the Labor government's own defence white paper defines China's assertive military actions as destabilising to our region. So why couldn't the Prime Minister say that today? Why couldn't he just repeat what is in his own defence white paper instead of the weasel words we got? And you could tell he was very, very uncomfortable there. We need to call a spade as a spade as Australians. China is acting incredibly aggressive to its neighbours and near neighbours. It's circumnavigated our own continent without warning. It's conducted live fire exercises under a flight path, a civilian flight path between Australia and New Zealand. Why can't the Prime Minister call this out? And why isn't this government giving direction to our Defence Force, say, look, your job is to defend our country. Your job is to spend the limited defence budget we have. It should be more, but the limited defence budget we have on those issues. Instead, we have it spending on these completely trivial matters to the defence of our nation that aren't going to make the difference to the environment, but are distracting our Defence Forces from their key role.
It's just, like I said, beyond parody. It is the parody. It's a joke on Australia.